Hello everyone, it's Dawn. Welcome back. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. And today we're going to go back to an art painting, a drawing. And we're going to show you, or I'm going to show you, a couple of easy ways of putting some life into your landscape paintings. If you like painting landscapes or farming scenes, you might want to put a dog or some chickens or maybe some cows in the distance. And maybe perhaps they're a bit daunted by the prospect. Well, I've come up with a system where you only need to draw triangles. If you can draw triangles, you can do those three animals. And we're going to do that right now. And I'm going, for the purposes of the demonstration, I'm going to do these a lot bigger than you'd normally use them for your painting. Otherwise they'll look like mutant ninja animals. And then when I'm done, I will bring in a painting that I've already done, I finished it, which will be the same system but a lot smaller, so they won't look like triangles. So you'll see what I mean as we go along. So we're going to start with a sitting dog. And as I've said, I'm going to do this a lot bigger than we'd normally do it, just for the purposes of the demonstration, so that you can actually see what I'm doing. So we need to start, I'm going to start up about here. We're going to stay in the middle of the screen, I think, so that you can see what I'm doing. And we need to start with a back to front L. In this case, we need to start with a back to front L, because I want my sitting dog looking that way. So whichever way you want your dog to face, make sure that your straight line or your vertical line is facing the way you want your dog to face. And then we're going to join those 2 points up like that, and there you have your triangle. Yes, I know it doesn't look like a dog yet, but it will, trust me, I'm an artist. And then we're going to do another triangle on the top like that, just like that. Now before we go any further, what we're going to do, we're going to round these lines up a bit, not the base, but just the two long sides. And we're going to round out his head, or her head, and we're going to just do that. And we're going to very quickly, I'm not going to be filling this in or painting this too carefully or in any detail at all. This is just to show you what it looks like once we filled it in. Now you can do this in watercolour if you like painting in watercolour, or even acrylics. I'm just doing it in pencil because I've got my pencils handy, as I did a painting earlier. I did a pencil painting earlier, I beg your pardon. And my pencils are out on my desk, so I thought I'd do it with pencils. And if you've never done this before, it might be an idea to start it with pencils because it's easier. Well, I think it's easier anyway. So we're going to do that, just adjust his neck a bit. And of course, doggy needs some ears. So again, all you need is 2 triangles. One there, and one there. And you have your sitting dog. Oh, hang on, we forgot his tail. I do beg your pardon. And again, that's just another elongated triangle. That was almost this week's deliberate mistake. So, there we go. One completed dog with tail. That was easy, wasn't it? So, we're going to quickly move on. And we're going to do a chicken. And I'm going to do the chicken 2 different ways for you. Again, this is a lot bigger than we'd normally do them. So we don't run out of room for our other projects, I'm going to do him reasonably close, or her, to my dog. And we need to do a long one, a long triangle, or a long line like that. And then join it up like that. And then we need a little neck, which is another triangle, pointing upwards. And just a small head. Don't make the head too big for your chickens. And we need a tail. And again, another triangle, just like that. And we need to give him some feet, or her some feet. Now, a lot of people, the most common mistake I've ever seen when people have trouble with their chicken paintings is they make the legs too long. So don't make the legs too long, just a little leg like that. Because these will often be, again, mid-distance. These aren't going to be right up close in the foreground. These will often be mid-distance. And then again, just like we did with our dog, we're going to round out the lines on all of them. Just go around all of the lines, just round them out a bit, give them a bit of a curve. You don't have to be worried too much about the head. And again, we're just going to quickly fill it in, not being too precise, because we're just showing you what the animal will look like once we're done. So you can adjust the shape as you go along. If you think, oh, that's not quite right, you can adjust it as you go. That's no problem at all. And now underneath this one, I'm going to show you the same thing, the same chicken, but this time we're going to have him or her feeding. So he might be bending down to feed. So this time we still do a triangle, but we make the long line slant. The back of his body, the top of his body, will slant. It won't go straight, it'll slant. And again, we come down like that, and we come down like that. And again, we just round it out just like we've done before. Round him out like that. And this time, of course, the head and the neck will be pointing down like that, because our chicken is feeding. And so we'll put a head on the top like that, head on the end like that. And because they're feeding, the tail will be pointing upwards, just like that. So we're going to carry on. We'll give him some legs in a minute, or her legs in a minute. And then I'm going to show you what we do if you want to make your chicken into a cockerel. That's really easy. In fact, that's the easiest and probably the most fun bit. So we'll do that. And again, we'll just add some legs, not too long. And if you want to make your chicken into a cockerel, all you do, I'm afraid we're going to cover up bits of the one above, but you just bring out the feathers like that. Just bring them out like that. Just sweep the lines over, just like that. And you keep on doing that until you're happy with how your painting looks. And again, as I've said before, you will do this a lot smaller in a real painting. This is just to show you, because in a few minutes I'm going to show you a smaller painting which I did on an A4 piece of paper, watercolour paper, and you'll see how it looks when they're done. And the last thing I'm going to show you, I've saved the best till last, we're going to do a cow, again mid-distance. And first of all, we need a straight line like that, and then we need another line like that, and then we need another line like that. Now when you do the other leg, you need to bring that down the other way in the opposite direction. So when you've got that bit, when you've got to this stage, it looks like you've got an upside down V. And all we're going to do there is make another triangle for the tum and do that. And just to make life a little bit easier for us all, I'm going to have this cow, I think we're going to have her feeding, we're going to have her grazing cows. So another elongated triangle like that, and another one for the head. And this time we're not even going to worry about rounding it out. All we're going to do, we'll stick a tail on in a minute, all we're going to do is fill it in. And again, this is a lot bigger than we would normally do it in our real paintings. Unless you're doing a massive painting, of course, then you might want to do it this big, but generally we don't do paintings that big, unless you're very brave. So this will be mid-distance, so a lot smaller. In fact, in a minute, just to show you the scale, which I hadn't planned to do, I will show you what they look like. Just the cow, not all of them, but just the cow. I will show you in just a minute what they look like when we paint them to scale, the actual size. So I'll do that in just a second. We'll just finish this off. And we could actually just round the head, we will just round out a bit so it doesn't look so much like a triangle. And join it to the neck a bit better. And yes, we will give a tail. But to show you the perspective, or what it would look like in a real painting, I'm just going to adjust that again. We're going to do this as if, well, let's assume that that's our piece of paper, and we've only got, oh, come up a bit, we've only got that much space. So what you would do, much smaller, tiny, like this. So like, again, you'd start off like that, like that. Same, exactly the same procedure, but a lot smaller. And in fact, you might even do it smaller than that, because this is only a tiny picture. So there, like that. Now, doesn't that look, in comparison to that, that looks a lot more natural, apart from the fact that we've forgotten the tail. But that's all right, you don't have to. That distance, you might not even see the tail. Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to bring in the painting that I've already done. So let's just move that out of the way for a minute. And this is the painting that I've already done. And there are our cows, mid-distance, a lot smaller. Here are our chickens, which I deliberately made too big so that you can see how we did them. And our little dog hiding in the corner, because we don't want him eating the chickens, do we? So we put him out of the way. So there we go. There's our cows, our chickens, and our dog. And these have all been painted with triangles. And here is our exercise piece, just to show you the two. I'm not sure if I can get them all in the same screen, but we'll have a go. Sort of. Well, no, we can't quite. So there it is, and there is our exercise piece. So we'll move that out the way and show you what the finished one looks like. And so I hope that's helped you to put some life into your farm paintings and landscape paintings. And most important of all, have fun with your paintings. Painting and art and craft is supposed to be fun, so have fun with it. And I'll see you very soon with another project. And in the meantime, do stay safe, take care, and have fun with all that you do. Bye bye for now.